Hello, welcome to Tuesday. I'm a little bit late. Sorry, guys. I had some errands to run and hit some traffic, but better late than never, right? But it is Tarot Tuesday, and this time around I decided it's going to be Turnabout Tuesday. Um, hey, Aragorn. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm started a little bit late. I hit some traffic and all that, so just in time. But yeah, it's Tarot Tuesday and Turnabout Tuesday today. I decided I'm gonna play. What was I gonna play? Ace. Hold on, I can never remember the actual name. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. That's what it was. Back when I had a DS, I loved the Phoenix Wright series. Don't worry, I got home from playing. Oh, Magic the Gathering. You know what? You you embody everything that I wanted to do. Like you play D&D, you play Magic the Gathering. I never got into it. I never, I never did. I was more of a I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. Yep, Yu-Gi-Oh. There you go. I had played some local tournaments, and this is before they had banned all of the cards. Like I can't remember which ones were banned, but Pot of Greed or was it Monster Reborn? There was a couple that got banned, and I was playing tournaments before those got banned. So that tells you how long ago it was. But I don't know, Magic the Gathering just seemed way more complicated than I was willing to put in the time for it when I was younger. So maybe I should pick it up again, but then I also have to invest in all these cards. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe if they make a Pokemon trading card game, but for Magic, then maybe. Exodia. Yeah, that was my goal when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And I also collected Pokemon cards, but I never actually like played Pokemon. I just kind of collected them. See, I don't know what that means, Aragorn. Commander magic. But it sounds cool. I'll give you that. All right. um, but yeah, I running a little bit late. I'm kind of dealing with over the holiday. I was just sick, and right now I'm kind of dealing with I don't want to get too into it, but I'm kind of dealing with a chronic issue that I have with my health. So I'm kind of running around and trying to get that taken care of and under control. Nothing too serious, but it does take some time out of my day. So that's what I'm going to blame for being a little bit late. Also kind of busy over the weekend because it started creeping up over the weekend also. But if you take a look at my panels underneath, you'll see that I updated one with links, so you can see the VODs link on YouTube, my TikTok, which only has one thing on it right now because I haven't really clipped anything or found anything worth clipping. I think I'll put the clips there. That sounds like a good enough place, kind of short form. My Twitter, which I don't really have too much going on right now. All of it's still pretty new. I kind of follow some other VTubers just to keep up on what's going on. And then you can see that there's a Discord coming soon. So I kind of took your advice, Aragorn, and I'm going to start building that up. I know you are one of the first people in the Discord, so you get to watch it grow. excuse me. I'm still drinking some tea right now, so forgive the clearing of the throat. But we are going to play Ace Attorney, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a little bit of tarot at the end again, as always. So let's get started. I already have it loaded up, kind of. Let's see where we are. Ah, that's a classic sound. Check for downloadable content. Sure. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which I learned is actually part 1 and 2 when it was released in America. So that's fun. Let's select our adventure. The new game, yeah. Oh, I forgot this has full animation, and I think voice acting.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this
dropping frames.
Eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide.
Oh, what's going on?
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Wow, my bot was really late on that announcement. Huh. Is it cutting out for you? I hope that's not a normal thing. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Yeah, I think it's cutting out. Well, that's not good. Alright, hold on. Let's try to fix this. Oh, that's not great. What's going on here? I got scuff stream. What's going on? Alright, hold on 1 second. I'll be back. Let's try this again. Maybe. Hopefully. Oh. And now there's no sound. All right. This is great. All right, one more time. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. I'm going to try to fix this. Hold on. Oh, that's also super weird. Hmm. I can't seem to navigate away from my Switch. There we go. All right. Let's try this again. I don't know why this isn't working correctly anymore. This was working just fine like 10 minutes ago. I tested it and everything. All right, let's see. Hmm. Can't tell if there's supposed to be music or not. Okay, well, there's no sound, so that's a thing. Let's see. Ah! Why? All right, hold on. I gotta do this off off camera. 1 second. Okay, let's give this a shot one more time. I kind of don't want to have to end stream to fix this, and I hope that's not the case, but if I don't have any audio in the game, that's kind of messed up. Alright, so let me switch over and let's see. There should be some background music in the gameplay. Should. Oh god, it's so loud. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Oh, that's right. We start off as Rinosuke, who's on trial for murder. And I think he's my best friend? It's been a long time since I played. Lawyer? Yeah, lawyer. Can you just bring a katana into a, what's that place called? A trial? A courthouse? Technicalities. It's innocent until proven guilty, man. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose it wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Oh, famous. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Who writes these headlines? I could never murder someone. How is there that strong of a breeze inside this house and inside this room that his bandana's like flying like that? Kazuma Asogi. There's no lawyers. 3 days ago. What happened 3 days ago? Oh, he gets to go study law in Europe, I assume? The most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. A living legend. There's a mysterious aura billowing around his temple. Yeah, his bandana. The heart of the British Empire. Tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London. Oh dear. hall. Who is this? It looks important. Oh, it's the professor. Mm-hmm. His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Makes sense. Wait, he's a professor at your school. Like, you should know him. Thanks, Kazuma. I don't know your name, sir. Ryosuke Naruhodo. That means he's the relative of, Phoenix Wright. Yujin Mikotoba, a professor of forensics medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. Are you not also, like, a law student? Like, you should know him. I'm going to assume, because Kazuma said that law is relatively new in Japan. I'm going to guess the school is not that big. You know, maybe. Wow. Good job, Rinosuke. His entire career rests on his performance today because of you. Mm-hmm. What a good friend. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain particularities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right. So, as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, "I do." I do? But what will that question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. I forgot how many people like speak here, and I'm not gonna be able to keep up reading everything. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are about to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyways. Wow. Bias. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of what? Judicature? Judicature, yeah. Courtroom number 2. So, this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms there. The powers that have demanded this... The powers that be have demanded this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I'd like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That is correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defense advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. This is an unusual circumstance, and I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defense in this trial? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to say. I do. I'm gonna be my own defense attorney? I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. I'm standing here beside the defendant. I hope it's clear. Yes. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence. The defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Woo! Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Yes. Say yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated the most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of wow, I hate that word. Judicature of Japan. I'm assuming it's judicature. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes. Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you've undertaken. My competence? He's questioning your ability to do the job. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in the case. I can't remember. Rinosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. If you've ever forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. Can you imagine someone turning to you and say, just press R to access your wallet? Like in real life. Eugene Mikotoba. Taketsuchi Aochi. John H. Wilson. Victim. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, we'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record and press X to present. Take that! Oh, yes. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor in England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. That's a long name. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Ugh. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Flashback. Oh, we're at the restaurant? What's going on? Look, it's Dr. Wilson. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the Professor of Medicine, Dr. H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Where's the autopsy? Post-mortem report. Death occurred 19th, shortly after 2. Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay. Oh wait, I still have to wait for the trigger. Evidence. Yes. Oops, that's not the right button. Yes! Yes! According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it? Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. It seems a little off. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. So-called. can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. I forget when this takes place in, like, the canon. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? 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 Mikotoba, probably. Yes, clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in it. His oar in, hasn't he? Rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweat. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh. Coughing blood? A regular occurrence. What? So-called restaurants? An Occidental eatery 3 days ago. Why is it a so-called restaurant? What is that? And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Wow. It was just after 2 on the day in question. We had few diners at that time of day. Okay. The lunchtime rush was over. There were only 3 tables still occupied. Okay. No contradictions yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know. I don't know that that's the next thing I should be looking for.
Yes!
Yes? Don't implicate yourself, man.
Objection!
Yeah, wait until you cross-examination. Penalties. Let's listen to the testimony. Yes. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Well, we're gonna have to find some evidence. It's true. You gotta wait. Wait for the cross-examination. Is he gonna tell me that I should have... Alright, so I should have objected. But it's not cross-examination time yet! Alright. Objection!
Yes!
No, objection.
Objection!
Objection! Evidence. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory is a bit hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look at it, if you'd like. Oh, I didn't even read that anywhere near correctly. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout. Drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right, and I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Where was I sitting? You didn't mark me anywhere. Added to the court record as evidence. Huh. Suspicious? Highly suspect. 100% voice acting right there. So the court has now heard a precise... What? A precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we're looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit you're guilty at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Won't it be sensible to plead guilty at the stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual. How are these peculiarities? You said it, Professor Mikotaba said it, and so the judge and the prosecution? I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove the innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. The prosecutor Auchi. Please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. These young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witness at once. What the? Witnesses, there's two of them. Kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army's Sergeant Iesa Nosa. Iesa Nosa? Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I employ as purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premise on the 2nd District. Curio Korekuta at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be diners at the other table that waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea in the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And, not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I'm reading it and I can barely understand. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. What's that sound? Decisive evidence. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. Everything you saw at the precise moment. It's a baby. Unsavory memories of this most acerbic afternoon. Can you have two witnesses on the stand? So weird. I was investigating a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's action with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Well, there's some issue there. And I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously abandoned precious curio. I don't think so. So fight it with evidence. Okay. You thought perhaps the professor had dropped, so you didn't hear the gunshot? Oh, weird. Okay. Cross-examine the witness. Do it, now! Alright, calm down. No, I exercised my right to cross-examine.
Yes!
You're raising your hand? Just spit it out. Yes! Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting his right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. It's not wrong. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Rimosuke. Don't worry, I know how to do cross-examination. Expose the lies through evidence. Decisive and indisputable evidence that proves a witness is lying. Let's do it. No. I already know what I want to object to. From the back.
Yes!
Yes? I'm not quite sure. Something that Sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find any inconsistencies there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness' face and make him choke on it. Ooh. Nope.
Yes!
You have to raise your hand, dude. Mm-hmm. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Isn't insubordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. Oh, there is clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Ah. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma. What? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there is clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at this print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh. It's a baby. There's 3 people at the witness stand. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Oh, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in the grand courtroom. Woo! Your ancestors will become an ace attorney. Soon. No, not soon. Eventually.
Yes!
But you have evidence to support that. Rinosuke. Gunshot interests me not. I was far too busy on the floor. What were you doing on the floor? Okay, so he's gonna ask the same question I did. Hunting for treasure. What? Indeed, the Hoei-era Koban. My prized coin. On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it has been my habitude to place it in my bosom pocket, a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasote. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you? On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I preferred my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhaps it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. What's going on here? Jeez. Can't promise to conclude the trial. Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statement, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh. Very well, the court invites the witness to testify again. He will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as cuticle glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me. There's something or someone peeking over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Aido. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido. Tension. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Aido Nosa? Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm being discharged, it was almost the same thing. I mean, I disagree. Yes, pointing his gun at a foreign man he was. That young lad in black. That much I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman.
Yes!
We need evidence.
Objection!
Objection! Yes, you must present evidence, Ryunosuke. Okay. bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen at the museum. How are we going to solve this? I exercise my right to cross-examine. Stand tall, Renosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it. Draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Alright, let's see. Oops.
Yes!
Let's press. Oh, that's the wrong place to press. Why would there be two guns in this restaurant? Not exactly the same. Okay, so he's not wrong. Keep hitting the wrong one.
Yes! Objection!
Well, where were they sitting? Can we, like, amend the evidence to show where they were sitting? That's the reason. You gotta present all this evidence, dude. 19th November. Noon to past 1 p.m. What else does it say? You should enter it into the court record.
Yes!
Yes. If I may, I'd like to ask that medical record card be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to this arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues. It's true. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Okay, let's see. Need to look at the evidence. Visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we're the only clientele personnel there. Indeed. Let's see. Open the court record. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's see. I can examine all of this. Okay, let's see. Oh, dang it! I'm in front of Kazuma. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Huh. Strictly no food or drink beside water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. So why was he eating a steak? Ooh. Can I look at more evidence? I can't. Huh. It's a business card of a police officer. Satoru Hosonaga. Chief Inspector. Interesting. So he's not just a police officer. Interesting. What else can I look at? Okay. But which statement is the one that it's gotta be the second to last one. Okay, let's see. Where's the discrepancy? I know where I want to go with the evidence. I just need to follow the game's like logic. It has to be this.
Yes!
But he can't eat. So it has to be that statement. Gotta be this statement.
Yes!
Raise your hand. What are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer. I mean, maybe. Okay. Korako-san, this is a medical report belonging to the victim. Ah, yes, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Objection! Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's, remember, Yunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court have heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else beside this pale-faced pupil who could have Whoa, he actually slammed on the table. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? Oh, what? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? What is that supposed to mean to me? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Well, way wrong. Perhaps if I told you the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't be. Korakuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that can't possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthetic. Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
Objection! What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look. Look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. I wish I had an air horn sound. Oh. There you go. I don't know if you can hear that, but there it is. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves us one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been an as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only be someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. You will not let this go, will you? There is no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet, we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else there eating it. And we have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them, those two witnesses at the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you'll also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit? In murder? No! Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say, you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Whoa. So you admit to perjury. Great. What did you just say, Korakuta-san? No. You were just following orders? Hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order. Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Nope. Then who's behind it? Who tried to keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be trialed as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they're sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there's only a handful of possibilities. And I looked at the back of his card. It's the police. The waiter. I already did it, dude. I need to re-examine everything and make sure nothing is missed. Which I already did, so I know what I'm doing. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you, the penalty will be severe. But please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god, I knew nothing! And what does the defense have to say about all this, well, Your Excellency... Satoru Hosonaga.
Yes!
Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these two witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that kind of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If you truly were? Come on, Reinosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Yes!
Yes!
I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. What? I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said, the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? That's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Boom! What? The waiter is a police detective? I never heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you've seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... He's back. Inspector Hosonaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand his business card over. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was unusually careless. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you're really a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There's been a series of incidences at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidences? That would be classified police information which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That the entire time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what happened. The victim had sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. What's going on here? The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So, that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But that's not right. What's going on? One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain one of them, studying in the the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you are the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was certainly Miss Jezaille Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders of the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene. And order these witnesses to make no mention of her in any of their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered, that premise is false. It would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline for a ruling in order to send the telegraph to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings in my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate Miss Jezaille Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you're going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. Is this guy okay? The court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Jezaille Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. Then we have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Be continued. Chapter 1 is done. Oh, it auto-saved. Okay, I was like, what is that? Supreme Court of I hate that word. Judicature? Defendant's Antechamber 5. Excellent work, Ryosuke. That was superb. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimony. I think you might be a natural for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I were to go through this, if I ever get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Josiah Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overconfident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, how about this young gentlewoman? Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun laying on the floor. And just as I bent down to pick it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot came from. The waiter ran over to me, looking white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Mikotoba? Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the very start. You arranged things so they wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer, that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, the justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid the situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference, lawyer or otherwise. If I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. So, that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. if you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool in their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Sama? Wow. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believe in me then, I'm fairly sure I would have already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, it means a lot. There's way more at stake. Alright then, I'll save my thank yous for after the trial. Court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aoichi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Well, you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation And our nation founders? I thought it would be flounders. Okay. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial? Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions? A bungled investigation? Missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up! You jumped up, rookie boy. You and your friends know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Is this a trial or like political debate? What's going on here? A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Accurate. Well said, Rinosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jezzael Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! I don't know how else to read that. I really don't. Who is this? Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. Not you. I've been working undercover as a head waiter at the... Yes, we all know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Rinosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. I can't read that. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? The lady says her name is Jezzael Brett. She comes from London, England. She is a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University Medical Faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Huh. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is this correct? She says, yes. All that for a yes? This could take some time. Even so, even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. I don't know. Interesting, when you were the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, my dear lady, if you'd be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Order! Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? We have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only, a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused looked at the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. I mean, how do you prove that? This is a condemning No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. And look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even the dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those words that the court, whose words the court is going to believe. Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you'll need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. What? As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on this matter. No. But I didn't fire the gun. I picked it up. There must have been another gun that... You're right about that, which means that this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat. Okay. After a while, the accused came with the professor. Let's press.
Yes!
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was to go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant to the lady next to you. But anyways, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways. English is the future. We must all speak English. God. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or if only in the presence of a beautiful woman, Well, a beautiful woman's telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. Alright. What evidence do I have? Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. And the next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. And not long after, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Interesting. How do I tear this testimony apart? We're the same. How do we do that? What is the statement? have to press. The only thing I can think of pressing is the last statement about me picking up his gun. Like, how did she know it was his gun? Yeah. Like, how did you know it was his gun?
Yes!
Like... Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time.
Objection!
That will do, you dirty rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. Hello, Nightbug! Thanks for the raid. Welcome. Hello. Hello, Skunky. Oh, what's going on here? Why is it, I thought Nightbot might be a better automod, but apparently they are just as mean. I'll have to fix him. How was your stream? You were playing Minecraft, right? I don't know if that's gonna work yet. Maybe. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out my my commands here. Oh, it didn't work. Interesting. Yeah, we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm on the yeah, that will happen. Especially with Minecraft. Oh, is it that? Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't know how my chat command works. I'll have to fix that later. My stream has been scuffed since the beginning. It was cutting out. I was like dropping frames. The sound broke. Oh boy. Now my chat commands don't work. My moderator bot is angry at everyone. This is not great. But Ace Attorney's fun. We're on the it's been a lot of the games I played. It's been a long time since I played it, so I can't remember. We're on the first level. Dr. Wilson was shot in the restaurant, and now we have decisive evidence that there was a different person in the restaurant. Maybe the actual perpetrator of the crime. We think it is Miss Brett. It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. This lady is merely stating what she saw. She, we think, is the actual murderer. Super highly suspect with her swan hat, you know? When I played it the first time, I got through like maybe the second the second level, and then I just fell off and I stopped playing. Again, like a lot of the games I play. So I thought it would be fun to play it. I forget that this is like a prequel to all of the Ace Attorney series. So you're playing as Ryos. Oh my god. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I can never say his first name right, but Phoenix Wright's like ancestor. I don't carry a gun myself, so I obviously could have been the culprit. I mean, let's see, what evidence do we even have? Not a lot. I'm just gonna have to press. Let's see what she's got. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? I mean, you're not wrong. Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, I immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." What? That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely, you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Japan's finest, ladies and gentlemen. The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. I hate that he's the prosecutor here, because I can't ever read his voice, seriously. Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps? Think what you will. But if you're going to continue this preposterous claim that a refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. Can't read that. The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. But she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. Highly suspect. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the crime scene. Which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court. Today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. She's maintaining that you had gotten an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. I don't have any evidence. Am I just gonna press all of her statements? I might have to. I'm right there with you. I can't find any inconsistencies. Alright, we'll just press.
Yes!
Yes! Like Captain Falcon. Yes! After 2 p.m. in fact, that is really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are in vogue, isn't that right? No. Ugh. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. This guy. Calm down, dude. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself. A beef steak.
Yes!
We'll just press all of our statements. We'll see what happens. And that was because he had just had a tooth removed at Hota Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Huh. That's a little weird. Carbonated water. Okay. So, like, when I'm thinking, I stop reading, so sorry. I'm, like, going over all the evidence in my head right now. So it appears the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Each? There's only one cup in the picture. Please add it to your testimony. Oh. Your latest statement, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us what this profound bearing is, The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosmo. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Rinosuke. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Alright, so now let's see. They said this is exactly as it was left. There's only one glass, so what happened to the other glass? Carbonated water. You don't like carbonated water? I have a soda stream because I like carbonated water so much, actually. Take that! Oh wait, no. Take that!
Yes!
Oh, yes! That's it? Let me just confirm something, please. It has to do with this photographic print. I mean, you don't have to get into it, Nightbug, but why? Exactly as it was left. Okay, that's fair. I mean, okay, carbonated water does have like a... Water should not be that complicated. I can't... Okay, yeah, I can't argue. I can't argue against that. Weak. Come on, Rinosuke. Get your table slaps, like, in order. See, like, in my defense, I have the soda stream, but I also have, like, the soda, like, syrups, so I end up just making soda. Yes, so he is Rinosuke Naruhodo. This is the past. Like, Japan just had, like, governmental relations with Great Britain. So this is a prequel to Ace Attorney, to Phoenix Wright. And he is still a law student. They actually made it, like, in the game, made a joke about his bandanas waving around. Thanks for stopping by, Aragorn. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good night. There's only one glass.
Objection!
Objection! Yeah. This is a murder case, dude.
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the... wow, to conceal the lady's presence? Tampering with the evidence. I would never do something so reckless. Oh, weak. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you trying to tell me you can only clink with 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Can't read that. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Tampering with the crime scene. She's guilty. It was so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all. What? Why? Why? He actually is... the Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigations Division, Imperial Police Bureau. But there's been, like, weird stuff going on in the restaurant, so he went undercover as a waiter and got a job there. That's why he's dressed as a waiter. You can see neither of their eyes. Like, that's how you know they're lying. Sorry. That's not English, but, you know. I said it like a Canadian. Sorry. There. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? How do you even do, like, how would you even do that? Oh, let me just take this glass and what, move it to the kitchen in a restaurant I've never been to before? Yes, it is absurd. Well, you're not like normal people, Nightbug. She hid it in her hand. Well, Rinosuke was like, "Oh, she totally hit a gun. If I could just lift up her skirt, I could prove it." This is a Nintendo game, guys. It would seem that she slipped into. So she was carrying a handbag. So she could have carried a gun also, right? Add that to the testimony. These witnesses are garbage. Give me some good witnesses. What is this? So in the future, in like Ace Attorney and them, his ancestor is like a real pushover. He is way cooler in this game, actually. I don't. Okay. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. All the outfits in this game are incredible. Like, I love them. Yes, the House of Law. There's no room for logic. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No, I am not in agreement. Why would you even ask me? Of course I'm gonna say no. Yes. Like, why would you take the glass? It's clearly suspect. Like, it's highly sus. Like, why? She said, okay, so earlier in her testimony, she said that she, hold on. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there is a deeper significance there, it is the handbag. Because she said in her testimony that she had no place to hide a gun in her outfit. But she was clearly holding a handbag. Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. But everyone in the court is so enamored by her English beauty that I'll let her get away with anything. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. The music stopped. That's how you know it's serious. Also, that should be a crime in itself. Just saying, no pockets for women's outfits. Huge crime. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag. Weak. In which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. Why'd I say that like a Western? I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really simple. The gunshot we heard from when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. That true murder weapon, if you will. No, it's a conspiracy, Nightbug. It's a conspiracy between the dressmakers and the handbag makers. They're not intentionally gonna not put pockets in the dresses so that you have to buy a luxury handbag. This is a conspiracy the conspiracy hill I will die on. I don't even wear dresses, and I'm gonna die on this conspiracy hill. Buy our pants. I'm okay with that. I give you permission. Don't. That's taken out of context. Super weird. Don't clip that. It's just business practice. What was that from? That's Oh, that's from Lego Movie. Never mind. It's not personal. It's business. Lord business. I don't wear dresses. Buy my pants. Wait, what am I doing? Inspector Hasanaka. I'm on a tangent now about dresses. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss... I can't say her name. Jezail Bretz. It's supposed to be a pun. I just don't know what the pun is. Handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Order, order, order. What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Aoichi? Aoichi? It's supposed to be ouchie, like you got hurt, but how would you pronounce it in reality? Aoichi. Aoichi. Why on earth would you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, she now has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Yeah, it's supposed to be pronounced ouchie, because I think his ancestors is Payne, Payne, Winston Payne. So he's ouchie. A+ voice acting. Yes, we have no faith in the police, both then and now. Yes, yeah, he does that. Apparently, he says. Why? It was unnecessary. What? Oh, man. What is this? Ugh. Alright, hold on. Nightbot. Nightbot is way more sassy than my Stream Elements bot. That happened the last time too. Oh yeah. Alright, hold on. Spam protection. Links are enabled. So know what? Let's do that. Disabled, 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 disabled. Okay. Nightbot should not care anymore. So if you wanted to try that again, but I can click to show. I can only show it for myself. I know there's also a way to like, I don't think I have it set up where I can watch the clip on stream. But if you clipped it, it'll be on my page and I'll watch it later. I wonder if the bug is on purpose or no. It's I don't know. I think I think I'm just bad at selecting my bot mods. Okay, clip roll. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. So, I was saying earlier in the stream that I want to build up my Twitch page, add a few more things. I added the links on the bottom of the what are those things called? The panels. So my VODs go on a YouTube channel since I don't have Twitch only gives me like 5 days to keep my VODs, which is ridiculous because I'm not a partner. So follow me so I can get to 50 people, and then I can apply for partner so I can have more than 5 days of VODs. But my YouTube has the VODs there. I'm working on a TikTok, and I kind of want to put my clips there because it's short form. And then I have a Twitter just for whatever right now. I don't really do too much with it, but I want to build everything out. And I kind of want to fix up my Twitch page too, so it has the clip roll, like recommended channels. I think I mentioned this before. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to continue, doing the Twitch thing, but I'm having a lot of fun, so I really want to continue it and kind of make it the best it can be. So definitely going to build that out. But back to the gameplay, I'm going to leave it here for two reasons, because it's about time for me to switch over to Tarot, because we're getting towards the end of the stream, and also this is a great anime style like cliffhanger. This is where they would totally end the episode anyways and make you wait. So I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna leave it here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to Tarot. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick cup of tea, so I'll be just a few minutes, and I'll be right back. I have to. How else am I gonna get you guys to come back next week? No, I just trust that you'll come back next week, because I love you guys. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Make my tea. That's too hot. So I don't understand what's going on with my bots right now. Nightbot has never done that post ever. So that's why I always end up doing it myself and then trying to pin it. But for some reason, they decided, hey, I'm just going to post the exact same thing after you. I'm just going to spam your own chat. So that's a thing. Oh yeah, but let me go ahead and open up the... There we go. Just in case. Alright, so as usual, I'll always start off with just a kind of general reading for whoever. Switch over really quick. Music seems a little loud today. Let me adjust that. There we go. Let's see. Scoot us over a little bit as well. There we go. Better. Alright, what do I want to use today? I'm always using the Brit's Third Eye. Let's use the Mystical Manga Tarot today. Also, I'm having the hardest time trying to pin this this message. Yes? No? Maybe? Alright, well, it's there in the chat. It's fine. I'll shuffle it up. And like I said, as always, we'll do a general reading for whoever. Last week it was for me. And I didn't even know. Go figure. Oops, there's one. Get 3 more. There's 2. That's our crossing card. There's 3. Cups. What is that one? Let's see. 7 of Cups. And Justice. Major Arcana. And then... Interesting. 8 of Cups. Sequential. I think that happened last week, too. Okay, 1 more card. The Ace of Coins. Oh, 2 cards. What a surprise. Both in the reverse, the Hierophant and the Ace of Coins. All right, so the first card, we got a couple extra cards here, but the first card, the Seven of Cups, in the first position, that's going to represent kind of our current situation. And in the affirmative or the upright, that's going to be choices. So right now we're spoiled for choice. But just like it shows on the card here, the character has cups that are overflowing with choice. Homes, money, fantasy. He is not hurting for opportunity. So we're in a good place, essentially. What's making that difficult, the crossing card, is justice in the reverse. That means that there is kind of the opposite of justice almost, that unfairness, dishonesty, unaccountability. So that means in these choices that we have, what's making that difficult is that there is a lot of injustice that is surrounding us. So not every opportunity, unfortunately, is going to be positive, and that's what's kind of poisoning those cups. There's a lot that's out there, but there's also a lot of that injustice that pours into the cups. To get over that is the Eight of Cups. In the upright position, it means walking away, leaving things behind, introspection. So right now we see that there's a lot in front of us, a lot of different cups, different opportunities, but there, something has poisoned the water hole. Essentially, there's a lot of injustice that is unseen to us, that's lurking beneath. To get over that, so just like it shows here, there's that introspection. They're thinking, they are walking away from the cups, from all 8 cups. They've decided none of those are good for me. I'm going to forge my own path, and they're moving away from it. So while these cups may seem promising, it's broken promises, right? So we have to learn to accept that and walk away from those choices. This is the end result. So if we are able to make that happen, what happens in our future, right? What's the next step? The Hierophant is new approaches, blind fate, kind of doing things on our own, which makes sense for the Eight of Cups, right? And the Ace of Coins represents missed chances, lost opportunities. So these two work together in that, yes, we are going to have lost opportunities, missed chances, because we've walked away from those cups. But what is underneath those, quote unquote opportunities is that injustice. It's not going to be good for us. And because we've accepted that we've missed out on those opportunities, it gives us the opportunity to move forward, to try new approaches, have blind faith in our decisions. So we're in a crossroads right now. Whoever this reading is for, there's a lot that you see in front of you. Not all of it is good. Not all of it is kind of milk and honey, unfortunately. But the good news is, if you are able to sum up that courage and walk away from those cups, you'll come to accept that you miss those opportunities, and you'll see the underlying kind of poison, and it'll give you the opportunity, the energy of the Hierophant, which are, like I said, those new approaches, doing things on your own, kind of breaking the status quo. So whoever that is for, I hope that helps. Whoever reads this or sees this in the future, if you're watching the VOD, I hope this message reaches you in time and helps you out. I haven't done a reading with the mystical manga in a while. I mean, like I said, they are my favorites. because obviously because I'm holding a deck in my holding cards in my model and they're in my pocket. But the Brett's Third Eye has definitely been my more recent favorite. You know, just to be fair to all of them, I know I usually do one kind of blind reading. I'll just do a reading with each of the decks. Let's see here. This is the Tarot Divine. I'll be using the guidebook because it does tell me, like I said, what stories it references. Clear out my notepad here. We'll do another blind reading. Same 4 cards, unless they want to give me, oops, a few more. The Tower. That one's always an interesting one to show up in a reading. Very, very dramatic, the Tower. Another card, please. Oops. There it is. Our crossing card. It's the Three of Cups. Interesting. Three of Cups is a card of collaboration. That's our solutions card to get over the situation. It's the Three of Wands. Okay. And one more. Oh, there it goes. Arcana Strength. Alright, so let me pull up the guidebook here. The Tower. This one is inspired by the story of Rapunzel. You have the tower, makes sense, and then her hair. The tower normally represents a sudden upheaval or change in kind of what we know in our everyday life. Exactly like it shows inside the card, our stronghold, our tower is being dismantled, being struck, being destroyed. So everything that we know is starting to change. So there's a lot of dissonance and discord in our life right now. What's making that difficult is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is inspired by, in this deck, let's see. The story of Apsara, a Cambodian Hindu mythology, myth, rather. The Three of Cups represents celebration, community, friendship. So, almost ironically, there's a lot of upheaval. Things are changing in our lives. And what's making this situation even more difficult is that we have lots of friendships and community that are being torn apart by this change. So not only is it kind of like our established rules and beliefs, but also our relationships are being affected by the tower. How do we get over that is going to be the Three of Wands. So we have to combat the Three of Cups for the Three of Wands. So we have to match the same kind of energy, but in a different kind of aspect. I have never heard this story before. The Three of Wands is inspired by a Romanian fairy tale called The Enchanted Pig. I have to look that one up. Interesting. The Three of Wands in the reverse means staying in our comfort zone, kind of returning to zero, returning to home, right? So there's a lot that's changing around us, and a lot of that is affecting our relationships. To get through this situation, we have to look within, and we have to kind of go back to zero, right? We have to find where our comfort zone is, and we have to come back home. All right, so don't get swept up in all of this change, because like it shows here, this change is affecting our relationships, and we don't want to lose those, essentially. So we have to find kind of that inner peace. The end result is going to be strength in the reverse. This is not going to be an easy journey for you. There's a lot of change. We're afraid of losing that which we love, and the only way to kind of avoid that is to kind of retreat within, finding our inner strength, our inner home, right, our comfort zone. But the end result of that is self-doubt, insecurity, because there's been so much change. Did we make the right decision fast enough? Are those relationships still as strong as before the tower had fallen down? There's a lot of that lack of strength, maybe is the wrong term, but there's that self-doubt, that insecurity. We're not sure what we want to pour our energy into. Oh, and forgive me, the card of strength in this deck. Let's see, where are you? Oh, there it is. It is the story of Tam Lin, a Scottish fairy tale. So overall, this is going to be a difficult time for whoever this is. Again, this is just a general reading for whoever needs to hear it, help guide you through the situation. There's a lot of change. You're going to make it through, right? But there's going to be a lot of difficulty, even after the initial and heaviest part of the situation. There's going to be this inner self-doubt. And that makes sense for the situation that you're finding yourself in. But this will pass. In fact, let's even find out if there's any advice for that self-doubt. That was quick. Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, let's see. There you are. It is Halabu the Hunter, a Mongolian legend. This represents affection, invitation, taking action, meaningful gifts. The knight is for lack of a better term, a combative energy. It means that they fight for what they think is right, fight for what they believe in. So through this self-doubt, you're going to find yourself there after this traumatic experience. But the way forward from that is through the Knight of Cups energy. And that means, like I said, fighting for what you feel is important, that affection, that chivalry, invitation. So invite those people back into your life and have those meaningful interactions. That's the only way that we can find ourselves through the situation. So it's going to be hard, but you can do it, is what it's saying. So again, whoever needs to hear it, that one's for you. we'll do one more with my other deck. I'll clear up my notepad again. Sometimes I find it hard to see the cards either on stream or from the angle that I'm reading from. So I jot them down really quick. Let's see what we have. The Page of Cups. Fell all the way over here. The King of Wands. Oh my. Page energy versus the King. That's difficult. Six of Swords. All right, and one more. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, the Hierophant again. Very fun. All right, so there we go. So our first card, the Page of Cups, again represents kind of where we are, current situation. The Page of Cups represents, well, the cups represent emotions, and the page is that exploratory energy. They're willing to move forward and look for kind of what's important to them. The Page of Cups represents emotions, romance, dreams. That means there's something that is at your heart very important to you, and you're ready to take that step to make it a reality, whether that's through the realm of romance, or you want to make a dream come true, or something like that. So you're at the precipice of change. What's making that difficult is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a card of it's a card of passion. It's very strong wills. The King of Wands represents honesty, but also flexibility. So what that tells me is that this new journey that we want to take, what's making that difficult is the King. We look at the situation through those honest eyes, and we say, is this the right way to go? Because the King has experience. The Page is the youngest of the suits. It goes Page, Knight, Queen, King. The King is the most experienced card in the deck. So they look at things through wise eyes. So in our current situation, we want to move forward. We want to make those dreams a reality, but we look at the situation. We say, is that the right thing to do? So it's our own kind of internal monologue that's getting in the way. The Six of Swords is how we get over this. The swords represents the suit of the mind, our thoughts and mind. The six in the upright position represents moving forward. a transition, healing. So that means the reason why we look at things in a critical view is because we've been burned by it before. So we have that experience. We have that king energy. We've seen what happens when we move into the unknown. We have to be okay with that. We have to transition and move forward and heal from that experience. Just like it shows here in the card, the Six of Swords. There are broken swords here at the foot, and she is walking away from those. Those are no longer going to hold her back. There are two swords here off to the side next to the pathway moving forward. Those are the ones that we have to look forward to. These broken swords that have hurt us in the past, they're behind us. We have to move forward. And what comes of that, and this was in the previous reading, the Hierophant is those new approaches, that blind faith, that rebellion of the status quo. So the status quo being here, the King of Wands, the things that we know to be true, things that have happened in the past. Once we move past that, those new beginnings that we see here before us with the Page of Cups can become a reality with the Hierophant energy. So again, whoever needs to hear it, go for it. I think kind of almost all of our readings have been go for it. Only good things can happen, except for the Tower. It's going to hurt, but you have to move forward. This actually might even be a continuation of that previous reading. So if this relates to one person, good for you. You got 3 free readings. Put the decks down here really quick just so we can have a nice little visual on the camera. And we will kind of sit down for a little bit, see if anyone joins, just in case. I know last week we had quite a few people kind of pop in towards the end. I just want to be there just in case if there's any questions. But in the meantime, I'll take a look at who's online right now and see if there's anyone we can raid. All right, let's see. Do I know anyone online today? I see JT England's online. We might raid him a little bit later. Oh, and I got the clip. Definitely gonna be putting that on my clip reel. Thanks, Nightbug. And I have to put it on my to-do list to fix my bots because they are way too harsh on chat. Put my Tarot to Divine guidebook over there. Well, we'll give it maybe another minute, and if no one shows up, we'll call it a night. And we'll go ahead and say hi to the JT. I wonder if I really should maybe bring out a different deck. I've been using the same 3. While we're waiting, let me see if I can find another deck that I want to use. Oh, okay. No, thanks for hanging out, Nightbug. I saw the clip, very amusing. Thanks for doing that. Like I said, I'm gonna put it on my my clipper. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Um, but no, always nice to hang out. I'll try to catch your stream again. I um, can't always stay too long. It's because I'm on the West Coast. I always end up having to cook dinner or whatnot. But I will definitely try to hang out as much as I can. But have a good night. All right. So I think I might want to add, or maybe wait for kind of a special occasion. But I have these ones, and these ones are super fun. Disney villains, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Hocus Pocus. So obviously all of them are kind of Halloween inspired. And since the new year just started, waiting until Halloween maybe might be a little bit much. But maybe for a special occasion I might take one of these out. Or maybe I don't know, eventually I can try to figure out I know just a way to do like channel points without actually having channel points. So maybe do that so you can like redeem a particular deck. That might be fun. But yeah, I have these ones. These ones are some really fun ones that I have. And then I have another deck which is really interesting. Let me go get. And this deck has always given me really interesting readings. For better or for worse. It's just a very eclectic kind of deck. Very interesting energies. The Tarot of Mystical Moments. The art is really out there. I really, really like it. But it's sometimes a little bit difficult to read because of how different the art is. Yeah, super fun art style. But there's a lot of different symbology inside the cards. So that's why I generally try not to use it too much. But I might, like I said, kind of mix things up a little bit, and I might want to change out the decks eventually. But right now, I'm still having a lot of fun with the mystical manga, Brit's Third Eye, and the Tarot of the Divine. We'll see. Yeah, I have a lot of decks of cards. I just need to figure out how to rotate them out, or like I said, maybe I want to do some channel redeems. I know there's a way to do it without being a partner or affiliate. I just have to remember, or have to figure out how to integrate that eventually. But we'll be wrapping up pretty soon. I'm just gonna keep the queue open just a little bit longer, just in case. But we did a couple of blind readings, some general readings for whoever with each of the decks. Had some fun playing Ace Attorney. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Kind of the first chapter, I left it on a cliffhanger, so that'll definitely be a fun return. Yeah, had my evening tea, so I'm nice and relaxed, and I think he's still online. It's been a while since we kind of jumped into JT's stream, so we're gonna go ahead and give him a raid and show him some love. If you haven't already figured out, I'm Soren Arcanus. I play video games, I read tarot. I'm here every Tuesday from 7:30 to usually around 11:30, depending. Stop by anytime. Give me a holler in the chat if you wanted to have a tarot reading in the future. I'm definitely open to all of that. Definitely follow if you're so inclined. I definitely want to try to reach my goal of 50 followers, so I can try for I think it's partner. I always confuse partner and affiliate, so that'd be a fun goal. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I started this just kind of something fun. Wasn't sure if I really wanted to go for it, and I really am enjoying it, and I love hanging out with you guys. And it's a super fun thing to do on a Tuesday evening, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep streaming. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and let's go ahead and jump into JT's stream.